Another deity that's really fallen out of popularity in the last number of hundreds of years is the form of Vajrapani called Mahachakra, Maha Great Chakra Wheel. And this form of Vajrapani has three faces, typically six arms, wrathful in appearance, embracing a consort. Now, like many other meditational deities of the fourth classification of Tantra, there can be many different variations, iconographic changes. So we can have Mahachakra with one face, two arms. We more often have him with three faces and four arms in some of the early art, both sculpture and painting. And this is without a consort. But then we can have him with three faces and six arms, embracing the consort Mamaki. Now, Mamaki is the principal consort of Akshobhya Buddha. So you can see a relationship here between Vajrapani and Akshobhya in the sharing of the consort. So we also have different mandala configurations. We can have a 14 deity mandala, and we can have a 17 deity. Now, these mandalas don't have to be that different one from the other, and the numbering may be off, and they may actually be the same mandala, whereas the 14 deity mandala doesn't count possibly the door guardians or certain offering figures, whereas the 17 deity mandala does. So I've not looked into this to really determine the correct number, or whether or not there's several different systems of mandala configuration with different enumeration systems, basically. Now, what's really interesting about the Mahachakra Vajrapani is we find a lot of very early art. We find a sculpture and we find painting. Painting generally can be showing the single form, or it can be showing mandalas. Now, with the mandalas, they're most likely coming out of larger compendiums of initiations and mandala configurations, such as the Mitra Gyatsa. Now, the Vajravali of Abhayakara Gupta, I do not believe there is a form of Mahachakra within that system. Now, where we find really a predominance of Mahachakra is actually with the Shalu Monastery in Tsang province of Tibet. And really a lot of the paintings that we do see are within a Shalu iconographic program. So we have a lot of paintings that really do appear to be from that location. And what that tells us is it tells us that really the Mahachakra Vajrapani is not really a product of Sakya itself or of the Marpa Kagyu. It's not a product really of Kadampa system or of the Shangpa Kagyu, and it's not Nyingma in origin. What we have is we have kind of a separate line that's not really mainstream, although the Shalu Monastery, of course, is related more to Sakya. But the Mahachakra Vajrapani is not a principal meditational practice of Sakya. So it really does appear to be confined more to this system of the Shalu monastery system. Now, after the time of Tsongkhapa, then this was also adopted by the Gelugpas. So in more modern times, we find Gelug paintings, commissions of the Mahachakra Vajrapani. So then we have two. We have the Shalu branch, and then we have the Gelug tradition. But it's not really that common, although we can compare it in a similar way to Achala in the earlier periods of the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, when Achala was very popular and then fell out of favor. And the same with this Mahachakra Vajrapani. There appears to be a lot of art early on, but then it becomes less and less later on as we moved into modern times, and it really does appear to be very much a Shalu tradition. Now, what is really the iconographic characteristic of Mahachakra is quite important here, because he's actually holding with two of his six outstretched hands. He's holding a snake, and the snake he can also be biting down on with his teeth. It's a very long snake, and he's also stepping on the snake with the 2 feet. So it's this. It looks like a rope or a kind of a circle around the lower part of the body, which he's biting onto and he's holding onto. So this is the main iconographic characteristic, the special visual image to look for. So don't forget, press the like button. You can subscribe, you can make comments, and you can also join HAR on Patreon.